If you could only ever have one car and you just so happen to have over £60,000 spare, would you choose this? The Audi RS4.
It's fast.
Crikey!
It's practical.
I was just having a sneaky kip.
And it looks great.
It's really good for Instagram, this. So yeah, I'll just post that. Now, if you want to follow our Instagram feed, it's Car Wow Cars. All right, check it out.
Now, the first thing you need to know about the new RS4 is what's under the bonnet, as it's slightly controversial.
You see, the old RS4 had a 4.2 litre naturally aspirated V8. It loved to rev and it sounded amazing. This is a 2.9 litre V6. Still, it does have two turbochargers, so it has the same 450 horsepower as the old V8 engine, but torque is actually up from 430 newton meters to 600.
This added pulling power helps cut the 0 to 60 time from 4.7 to just 4.1 seconds.
Thing is, I actually think it will go even faster than that, so I'm going to find out. I've got my specialist timing gear up here. I'm going to put it in launch mode and just launch it. We shall see. Yes! Oh, that's 60 way back there. Gonna keep on going. That's enough. So, 0 to 60, 3.5 seconds. That'll do.
Actually, Audi is known to often understate the performance figures of its RS cars, and this includes the power their engines put out. In fact, when I tested this RS4 on the dyno, it was producing 16 horsepower more than it was supposed to. And that brings me on to 5 other things which are impressive about this car.
The Quattro permanent all-wheel drive system sends 40% of the power to the front and 60 to the rear, so it is rear drive biased. Also in the UK, you get a rear sport differential as standard, and that can send power to the outside wheel as you're turning around a corner to help push you around. The car gets a bespoke RS style big central rev counter with speedo incorporated in the middle of it. You can also see the power and torque output from the engine, or if you want to, you can choose to see a G meter. The optional adaptive suspension has a very clever feature. So if you're going around a corner fast that way, the car will lean that way. So to stop that happening and make it corner as flat as possible, it'll actually prop up the outside wheels to keep it nice and flat. Also, if you're braking, it'll stop the car diving, and when you're accelerating, it'll stop it pitching. The optional sports exhaust has 2 modes. So this is the normal quiet mode. Sounds all right, but if you put it into sports mode, that was a valve just opening. Notice it's got a bit louder. Then if you rev it, it sounds like this. That's much better. This new RS4 is actually 80 kilos lighter than the old one, and 30 kilograms of that is down to the engine alone, though it still weighs around 1,800 kilos.
Still, it looks pretty sleek, and the RS has some key styling upgrades over the normal A4 Avant.
You get a honeycomb grille, RS4 badging, bigger front bumpers with larger, more aggressive air intakes, and there's some little air breathers there as well to help air smooth over the wheels. Speaking of which, they're 19 inches standard, these are 20s. You've also got some RS performance brakes. The car is lower, and you've got side skirts, but my favourite bit is this. Look at this. The rear haunches just stick out, looks really muscular. Reminds me of a Group B Audi rally car. Then at the back you've got a roof spoiler, there's some more RS badging over there, deeper rear bumper as well, and of course some big oval classic RS style tailpipes. Now click on the pop out banner in the top right hand corner of the screen to let me know which you prefer: Audi RS4, Mercedes C63 AMG Estate, BMW M3 or Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Let me know what you think. In fact, why don't you just fight it out in the comments box below. Go on fanboys, take it away.
Inside though, the enhancements aren't quite as noticeable. To the untrained eye, it's just an A4.
That is no bad thing though, because this is a lovely interior anyway. But if you look closer, you will notice a few RS upgrades, such as the steering wheel, which has a flat bottom. You've got an RS badge on it as well. Some RS badging down here by the gear selector. You've also got aluminium pedals, and of course the lovely RS quilted sport seats. And they do this thing where they pump up the side bolsters when you turn the car on to hold you tightly in place. Though to be fair, you also get these seats in the lesser S4.
I've been using this RS4 as my daily driver for the past 2 months, and you're probably wondering what kind of economy it's been getting, seeing as the reason Audi switched to a smaller engine is for improved efficiency.
It's supposed to do 32 miles per gallon, though I'm only averaging 25.
There are some other things which aren't so great about this car. Here's 5.
While some of the vents on this car are real, others are fake, as I'll illustrate now with the Car Wow sticker truth. Look, fake, they don't go anywhere, and neither does that. In fact, I've broken the poor Car Wow stick of truth. While the 8-speed automatic gearbox is pretty good in auto mode, you may want to put it into manual mode to control the car yourself, you know, for a bit more involvement. The only problem is that the paddles used to control it just feel absolutely cheap and horrible to touch. I hope you like the RS4 in this Nardo Grey, because it's a bit of a shame if you don't, as it's the only colour that comes as free. All the other colours are cost options. These Lunar Silver seats look great. The only problem is that they pick up the dye and dirt from your jeans very easily, so they're always needing a jolly good clean. I mean, look at the difference that made. The button to change the car's driving modes is all the way down here, which is pretty hard to reach when you're driving. That could do your head in. However, you can actually assign the driving modes to this particular button here on the steering wheel. The only problem is then, though, you can't actually use that particular button for anything else.
What I can't complain about, though, is how the RS4 drives.
Well, seeing as this is a performance car, it makes perfect sense to talk about the comfort first. Now seriously, it does, because you see this car I've got here is fitted with the adaptive suspension and it has a comfort mode, and when you're in that mode you'll be amazed how well this thing deals with bumps. It's really quite comfortable, even though this one's riding on 20-inch alloy wheels. You can live with this every day, no problem at all. Really, really easy to live with. But then you press this button down here and put it into dynamic mode, and then you get more weight added to the steering, you get more noise from the exhaust, and the suspension stiffens up. And then, yes, it turns into a beast. Once again, over 100 like that. You have to be careful with this car out on the road, because you flex your right foot and you are breaking the speed limit. And you can control it as well. Obviously, you've got Quattro all-wheel drive, which gives you lots of grip. So whatever the weather, you can drive this thing fast. It also handles well. You see, performance Audis of old just felt a bit wooden. You couldn't really tell what was going on beneath you, but this one, it's fine. It really is. You can feel it moving about when you chuck it into a corner. That makes it more fun. Admittedly, it's not quite as fun as something like a Mercedes C63 or a BMW M3. Those are rear-wheel drive, and well, they're just a little bit more flighty. You know, put your foot down in one of those and it's a bit damp, and they want to go sideways. This just rips and goes. Also, I think the BMW and the Mercedes have a bit more front-end bite as well, so when you turn them into a corner, they just start in, the nose digs and they just turn. This one, not so much, but once you get into a rhythm with it, yeah, it is good fun, it really is. My only complaint really has to be the fact that the suspension settings aren't quite right for the UK. So comfort, it's great for when you're cruising around, but it's just a little bit too soft for really thrashing the car, so in the corner it does lean a bit too much. And then when you put it in the dynamic mode to make it better, it's nice and flat in the corners, but the problem is it's then just a little bit too bouncy over bumps. There is another mode called Auto where the car susses it out, but that still doesn't quite cut the mustard. Really what we need is another mode called British, which is perfect for our roads. Unfortunately though, the Germans are never going to do that, are they? Still, overall, this is a great all-round real-world supercar, and I love it. I do. I love it. So then, my verdict on the Audi RS4. Well, I'll admit, it won't be for everybody. For instance, if you like doing track days or power slides, then it might not be the right car for you. But if you're a normal person who just wants something that looks good, is comfortable, is easy to live with, is practical, and is genuinely good fun to drive and completely bonkers fast, then this Audi RS4 is awesome. In fact, I think it's the best RS car Audi has ever made. If you enjoyed this video, I really want you to hit the like button. Also, write some comments in the box below to let us know what you thought about this video and the car as well. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you subscribe, hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on so you're alerted if we make a new upload. Also, you can watch some other videos down below. And if you click over there, you can actually refer a friend to CarWow. Now, if they go on to buy a car through CarWow, they could save on average £3,600. And if you referred them and they buy a car, we'll give you a £50 Amazon gift card.